Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the best part of your week. It's Wednesday night, and that means nothing but the best podcast action coming at your faces, brought to you by Super2Bit. Tonight's topic is a very, very good one. A big night tonight, guys. We have the Call of Duty Cold War multiplayer reveal. And we thought, what better way to kick off the reveal than to talk about the history of Call of Duty for an hour before we get down into the nitty-gritty. But before we do that, ladies and gents, we need a little love back from you guys. We give a lot on the podcast. It's time to take a little bit back this way. We have left some links in the description for both our Spotify and our Apple Music links. Go give us a little subby there. And if you are watching on Facebook, don't forget to give us a share and like the action while you're at it, ladies and gents. With that said, let me introduce my co-pilot. You'll never believe who I managed to wrangle. I think, 12 weeks in a row? Oh, it's your boy, the Marksman. What's happening, buddy?
Oh, hey, man. How's it going? I wish I could have like a little, just playing Jimmy, cutout face. I'm like, hey, guys. Hey, I'm just playing Jimmy.
I think we're going to have to do that eventually. Otherwise, people will think we're never going to get a guest on the show.
Yeah.
But,
a lot of people who want to come on the show. They just, they just say, yeah, that sounds cool. And then they never arrive. So
this is what they say. They never pick up our phone calls. So.
Yeah.
They
gave us the wrong. They gave us the wrong number.
Or it just goes to a dead line. So anyway, we got Neil again, but it's always a pleasure to speak to you, buddy. Especially when it comes to Call of Duty, because some of my earliest gaming or Call of Duty memories were at LANs with you playing the original game. So I could think of no one better to have on the podcast.
Oh well, thanks, man. Yeah, because I was the guy who could get it set up on your PC and get it up and running in those LANs. I think that's the only reason you had me around.
That's the reason I'm still friends with you, Neil.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Thanks, buddy.
But welcome, everyone. Good to have you. Like I said, we're going to jump into a little bit of a retrospective with the Call of Duty franchise. Talk about its highs, its lows, and everything in between. And like I said, Neil, I started playing the original Call of Duty, which I think came out in 2003. Hey, Neil?
Yeah, it was somewhere around there.
That was just simply titled Call of Duty. And it had multiplayer, it had a lot of action. It was highly rated on PC. I think it came to console eventually, but it got in the 90s.
I don't think the original ever actually came out on console. But let's just quickly switch over to the game screen.
Let's get some gameplay. I think in a classic re-release it made its way to the consoles, but on the PC was where it was always its strongest. Yeah. And what was interesting about the original is, and why it was a bit of a showstopper, I think the Metacritic score was about 91 when it launched in 2003, which is huge for a first-person shooter. And I think the reason for it is because it had the secret source. And by secret source, Neil, I mean the Quake 3 engine. Yeah. And you may know a thing or two about the engine the game runs on. Why don't you tell us about it?
Well, yeah. So, let's give it a little bit of a background. So it was obviously made by Infinity Ward, the original Infinity Ward with, what's his name? Jake Zampello or whatever, the guy who's now at Respawn Entertainment. And
yes.
He was the guy who actually started with Call of Duty Medal of Honor, which was the original first big name Quake 3 engine game, and it had that iconic Normandy landing scene, which at the time looked unbelievable and magical and amazing. But if you play it now, you're like, ooh, this is a little rough around the edges here. A little bit looking a little sketchy, but still super impressive for the Quake 3 engine. Instead of corridor shooter, it was this huge open beachhead that you could move into and see everything that was happening.
Which Call of Duty kind of tipped its hat to.
Yeah.
One in World War II, one of the recent installments.
So what happened? I don't know what happened. I think there was some EA politics that came in. Basically 20 people from the original studio, 2015 or whatever, I can't remember what their name was. The original studio that made Medal of Honor left and created Infinity Ward, which is, I think it's actually a power-up from Warcraft, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. That's what an Infinity Ward is. It gives you infinite power.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. and they created Call of Duty, which the first one basically took those set pieces and took them to the next level, and also introduced the 3 different theaters of war. So you had the Russian missions, the English missions, and the American missions, and all of them were slightly different changes and like types of things that happen, and everything would intersperse with each other, and sometimes you'd like kind of interact with the other campaigns along the way, and the set pieces was what made Call of Duty a thing.
It changed things up. That and the fact that it ran at 60 FPS and it was silky smooth,
and it looked
didn't demand
amazing
a lot
as well.
It looked phenomenal. Like you said, the set pieces were insane. I still remember I think it was the first mission where you're landing with the 101st Airborne in some field and you're storming like some town. And you're kind of like dodging the dead cows, and there's like a whole bunch of planes flying over you, crashing. You're running on that engine at 60 FPS. That was a sight to be seen back in 2003. I can tell you that much.
But I think where Call of Duty, it's basically until now, the single player campaign's basically been built on that premise of massive set pieces. Dave, you need to move to your right a little bit.
All right.
There you go. A little bit more.
All right.
There you go. Now you're in frame. Thanks to the people on the audio podcast, like, huh?
What? Thanks, Neil.
But the main thing, so every Call of Duty campaign since the first one's basically followed that same premise, these big set piece sequences, and it became actually a downfall of the single player campaign, where people say if you don't move forward to the point where it needs you to move forward, you just have these infinite spawning enemies.
They just spam you with enemies.
Yeah, it's basically the only replayability is upping the difficulty and trying it again, but it's always the same enemies in the same place. But the big thing that made Call of Duty much bigger than Medal of Honor before it was obviously the multiplayer. But maybe we can delve into the multiplayer side of it in a little bit further.
Exactly. Before we do that, shall we welcome the chat briefly? First to the chat was Little J Peterson. Good to have you here. Stefan Rutz saying, "Yeah, boy, a lot of Call of Duty, hardcore Call of Duty fans that follow the channel." Steve saying he's in the queue at the spa. You suck, Dave Neil rules. You biscuit. Thank you.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Tyrell, welcome. Jimmy 2.0, good to have you guys here, as well as Kelly Butt. Tatiana Smoke. All right. People having a party for a Wednesday. I like it. So we got a lot of Call of Duty fans. I'm sure Raul will be along shortly. He's probably the biggest Call of Duty fan I know.
I'm waiting for a wall of text.
Yeah, wait for the 100 shares to every Call of Duty group. Thanks, Raul. He should be along shortly. Welcome, Hanku. So yes, the multiplayer, I think, is what really defined Call of Duty. Like I said, we used to play this back in the day. I still remember storming, I think it was Carentan. We used to land it up and just rock Carentan for like hours.
5v5, capture the flag.
5v5. And the nice thing about Call of Duty is I think it was one of the first games to really do iron sights, aim down iron sights. A lot of games, back then it was like still aiming from the hip. I think even Medal of Honor.
Yeah, Medal of Honor had no iron sight aiming, I don't think.
And unless it did, but only after Call of Duty. I'm trying to remember.
It only had on certain guns, so only on your M2 Garand, M1 Garand, and your sniper rifles would have it. But the normal guns, I don't think, had the aim down sights. But also what's interesting is that Call of Duty 1 and Call of Duty 2 didn't have the ranking and the level system, which is what Call of Duty's become famous for. But their multiplayer was still like world renowned for like being so amazingly good and so amazingly engaging. That was like my go-to LANing game, was playing Call of Duty 2. Like that game, I wish they still just had dead straightforward Call of Duty 2 multiplayer. Like that was so much fun.
I think didn't they remaster the Call of Duty 1 for modern systems recently?
I think they did. I'm not sure. Call of Duty 2, they've never remastered. Call of Duty 2 is Call of Duty 2. Call of Duty 1, I don't know, because Call of Duty 1 came out before the Xbox 360, where Call of Duty 2 was a launch title for the Xbox 360, and by far and away the best game on the Xbox 360.
For a launch title, Call of Duty 2 was phenomenal. I still remember the beach wall, that you had to get up. It was a fantastic take on the Normandy landings,
and it showcased the Xbox Live multiplayer super well.
It did, and I mean, obviously that led to Call of Duty 3, which I think was a bit of a speed wobble for them. I think they got to. Well, let's talk about what happened at that point. So you got Call of Duty 1, Call of Duty 2, like you said, both being made by Infinity Ward at that time, and then I think they kind of knew they had lightning in a bottle. They wanted to produce more games, well, almost on a yearly, release.
So then they brought in Treyarch, who made the first add-on for Call of Duty 2. I think was it called Big Red 1?
The Big Red 1.
Was it that
Big
one?
Red 1.
But the interesting thing about Big Red 1 is that it had vehicles and it had the original version of the leveling system. So Treyarch was the people who actually invented the ranking up and the leveling from 1 to 50 and unlocking new weapons and not abilities, but it was basically just unlocking weapons and sidearms and utilities.
Yes,
they invented that whole thing and having your whole ranking
which was
up and all of that stuff.
A huge system.
And then they made Call of Duty 3, and Call of Duty 3 never came out on PC. It was a console exclusive, and it was a launch title for the PlayStation 3. So, because remember, PlayStation 3 came out a year after Xbox 360, so they also wanted their big Call of Duty game, and so that's what happened. And I never played Call of Duty 3, and it actually makes me quite sad because that's where they basically refined the multiplayer and made Call of Duty multiplayer the prototype of what it is today in Call of Duty 3.
It was solid, like you said. Treyarch were behind the wheel, and at that time, I mean, third game based in World War II, I think it was a little bbit tired in terms of ideas that one mission has you in a tank, doing the same sort of stuff. But so that for me was a bit of a low point. Welcome, Chloe ZA, your titles. She says that is exactly what I'm asking myself today. Another Call of Duty fan, and of course Raul saying COD is live for about 10 lines straight down the chat. I expect nothing less, Raul. But that's it. So I think, and what's interesting is that's like Treyarch back then were kind of like the ugly stepchild, it's like, it's like the B team taking over, and they just got to fill a gap. And how that has changed in the last decade, but we'll get into that.
Well, it's interesting, and I think hopefully we do touch on that because it's weird how they bounce between one being much better than the other between different Call of Duties. But I think I don't know if we should go through every Call of Duty. Maybe we should speed it up a little bit.
We got the time, Neil. We got 45 minutes, buddy.
But the next Call of Duty on the list is probably one of the most important games ever made.
Oh, wow.
Which is the original Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Modern Warfare.
That game basically rewrote everything about what a AAA first-person shooter is. On console, on PC, in multiplayer. That game... That's why when they re-released it, 2-3 years ago, it's still a great game. Shows its quality and its amazingness. And I think basically every Call of Duty since then has been trying to find that magic, and some do it with better success than others.
Well, hence they basically re-released the game now for 2019. They basically made a new version of it.
Yeah, and it's not as good, actually. It's a good game, but it doesn't have the highest of highs that Call of Duty...
I think it's easy to call Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2007 the best Call of Duty ever made. That's a safe play.
Yeah, I think very few people would argue that it's not the most important Call of Duty ever made. Like, it is a game that it isn't. Like, it is the most important one ever made. It changed everything from single player story writing to multiplayer to set pieces to everything. That game is so damn good.
I think I'll never forget the day I saw the E3 reveal. It was the.
It's not my favorite Call of Duty though. Just to be contentious.
Well, I want to find that out just a second. It was the Chernobyl level where you literally start the mission in a ghillie suit.
All
it's a
ghillied
flashback
up,
scene.
man. Yeah.
All ghillied up. That's it. And I'll never forget. It starts, and in front of you, one of your side operatives gets up, and he's all ghillied. You couldn't even see him in the grass. Yeah. And it was at the time you're like, it's photorealistic, man. Yeah. Graphics are never gonna look better than this. And I remember showing it to my dad and all his friends, and they were like, wow, this is really impressive. And it was just that type of game. The animations were so smooth. Everything about it was ahead of its time. And like you said, they've been trying to recapture that for so long. And I don't know if they can. I mean, that was just so ahead of its time, dude.
And it just had everything. It had like that night vision where it like turned on and you started seeing all the lasers going through the dark. And it had the like
dude.
4 stealth missions
the
that were
thermal,
cool.
I think it was
The
C,
C,
what is it?
it's the C5.
No, it was the the C20,
The flying fortress thing with all the guns.
the big flying fortress that you would get the thermal
and
vision,
you'd have to
you
shoot
just
down.
like
Where every
rain
Call of
down
Duty has
fire.
done that level again, and it's just never been as amazing as that.
It was perfection, dude. Like I think Raul, like I got to ask Raul, which is your favorite Call of Duty? Because I think you would agree. Sean, welcome, buddy. Raul asking us to go through each and every Call of Duty, including expansions and handheld versions in detail. Of course he would. We'll see how far.
I'd just like to give a big shout out to Sean, Raul, and Steven for throwing down some stars. Very much appreciated.
Ooh, how many stars you get there, buddy?
We got a 50, a 10, and a 50, which is quite nice.
Thank you so much for the stars. Welcome, Rusty Pie Lover, to the house. Sending some love. Much appreciated, buddy. So next up on the list is Call of Duty World at War. This is when they shifted back to Treyarch for production. And it was a good game. And there's something that Treyarch has always done that Infinity Ward never did, and that is like dismemberment and violence. You know, I don't know if you've noticed that in their games.
Yeah.
That, like, I remember, storming like one of the islands, and just like popping heads off, legs were popping off.
But like even people who, like, at the time were like, this game's actually maybe too violent, too heavy, and even like the videos and stuff they had were like quite hectic in that game. But it wasn't. It was another one of those games that didn't quite hit the mark and sort of.
It wasn't bad, but it actually started something on its own. Something that almost became one of the biggest feathers in the hat of Call of Duty, and that is the zombie mode. Zombie mode started at World at War, the very first zombie mode, and again,
Treyarch bringing the new game modes and the new craziness. And actually, if you go through this list, you're going to see that over and over again. It's Treyarch that actually comes up with the new crazy ideas, but then it's usually Infinity Ward who then refines it and makes it like this amazing thing.
Treyarch are like the rock stars, taking the chances, and Infinity Ward's like the manager, sitting behind the big desk, saying we can't do that, can't do this will work, this won't work, and they took chances. Zombie mode was a huge chance, and we all know that it obviously paid off. I know a lot of people that just buy Call of Duty for the zombie mode.
And I think in some ways it affected some of the later Call of Duties again, because like they focused more, and zombie mode got insane. Like in Black Ops 3, it was like. It had so many different things, and it was too much.
It got so. I mean, you got John Malkovich playing one of the characters in a sideline story, for zombie mode, as well as a whole bunch of other.
Your guy, the guy in the leather jacket, Jeff Goldblum, in the one.
Jeff Goldblum, was he there?
He was in one of them.
I'm sure he was. I mean, they had everyone. They had like everyone in the zombie mode, and then. Like it was mad, but it was amazing. I think, and like you said, it affected other Call of Duties, because when they didn't have the zombie mode, people were like, oh, where's the zombie mode? When Infinity Ward or Sledgehammer would come up with a title, and they would have deniable ops or whatever their take, their
which was
added
the better
value
mode.
was. You didn't like zombie mode?
Compared to deniable ops, it sucked.
And heresy.
Awesome.
You speak this night.
I like the first two zombie modes. I like Black Ops and World at War. They were cool.
Yeah, no, I'm a huge zombie man. Dude, me and my buddies would just split screen, on 360. I still remember doing. I think it was Black Ops 2 with the farm. You didn't play zombie mode. There was a level called the farm where you basically, zombies attack you on a farm at night. And dude, we would get to like level 50, just like hitting a little like rotation with a little zombie trail behind us, just hitting the juggernaut like colas. Yeah. Dude, some of the best times of my life, promise you. Seriously. So good. So good. But so zombie mode was the big one. And then obviously from World at War, we went back to Infinity War for Modern Warfare 2.
Which is probably like the biggest, most bombastic, most insane Call of Duty that was ever made.
High budget.
I think that game had more polish. Like, it was a more ridiculous game, but I just played it and I was like, this is like the most blockbuster of blockbuster movies. Everything was like polished. Everything was insane. like it was over the top. It was super unbalanced, and like the story got like completely ridiculous. But it was an event. You were like, wow, that was something. The only thing I remember is in the first Modern Warfare. Spoilers for anyone who hasn't played a game from 2007. You play as the American soldier, and then you land in some Arabian country, and then a nuclear bomb goes off, and you watch it like destroy the city while you're trying to escape in a helicopter, and then you die.
Modern Warfare
1. That was the first one. But in Modern Warfare 2, I think that happened like 3 times. Like something would blow up and you die, and then you become another character. Then something would blow up and you die, and you become another character. Like it just got like ridiculous in the second one.
They were running out of ideas a little bit. You know, they were kind of retreading the same track. But
it was
like
a fun multiplayer as well.
The multiplayer was, and that's when they really evolved the multiplayer. You got care packages and stuff like that. I mean, dude, I double dipped, console and PC, and I think each version I got 200 hours into the multiplayer alone on each version. But like when you got Hans Zimmer doing the soundtrack, you've got Eminem, doing a song for your trailer. Yeah. You could feel, you could feel the shift.
Big.
It was
dollars,
money, bro.
Big, and everything about that game was shiny and amazing, and it pushed like consoles to the limit. It really was an incredible game. Didn't reach the highest of highs. It didn't reach all that cool stuff that.
Not Modern Warfare, It didn't hit those highs, but it was good.
It was good.
It was solid.
And also it had that nuclear bomb. If you got 24 kills in a row, then you could unlock the nuke. Or was it 12? I can't remember what the
I think it was like something like 20 kills in a row.
20 or 24. But guys started getting those all the time.
Yes, guys would just link up kills. Yeah. Shawnee's saying there's sort of dismemberment in the latest Modern Warfare. I think the latest Modern Warfare was done by, if I'm not mistaken, I think was an Infinity War. I think they kind of learned like, okay, listen, if you shoot a guy in the leg,
and these days, like every developer, they all work on all of them together. I think these games are so big and insane now. They all have to work on interbreeding. Because like Raven and Beanox and all of those weird companies work on them.
Well, Raven's interesting. That comes later into the story because they're their newest
purchase.
Purchase. Yeah, they started on the remaster. They did the remastered versions. Yeah. They did such a good job. They're like, geez, we're going to give you guys full, blank check, and you guys are going to do your own game, basically. So they became like their own studio eventually. Stefan's saying, don't forget about Gun Game. Gun Game's a great mode. I'm not the biggest fan of Gun Game, but I know a lot of guys love it. I like
Gun Game, but it's not like there's a story or anything around Gun Game. It's basically just a different take on the normal stuff. But Gun Game is fun. Like Gun Game can be ridiculous and cool.
Raul saying Modern Warfare 2 is his favorite. That's interesting, buddy. It's a good game. That game
was fun. Multiplayer wise, it was a lot of fun. Because it was so unbalanced, you could do crazy builds. Like my favorite build was just running with a pistol and the knife, and I'd come top because like the knife could one hit kill anyone, front, back, side, didn't matter, and you could just kill everyone. And people used to lose their minds. Good times all around.
The one thing they started in Modern Warfare 2 that I remember like clearly is they started that like random reward thing that became kind of like psychologically addictive. So it's like, oh, you got a grenade kill, points, XP, and then it's like you would do the most random crap and so like you're constantly getting rewarded for playing and doing dumb stuff and getting like XP to the point where it became it was just triggering those endorphins. Like I'd be in a game, I'd do something and get like a special reward and a special banner or whatever, and like there was always a reward. And like you said, like you just release those endorphins every round, and I think that's why I played more multiplayer in Modern Warfare 2 than I did in the original.
The only problem is now like there's so much of that happening. Like I don't even know sometimes if I killed a dude. Like there's so many things popping up on screen. The killing the guy like reward thing is like this little thing that comes up in between all of these other things. And you've got like the missions and the daily things and the barracks things and like all of these crazy things and achievements on top of that you might unlock. It's crazy.
But it's all a psychological thing. Even the the hit sound when you hit someone.
Yeah.
They got guys in a room, and they got like these little brain pads on your head, and it's like they played all these sounds to see which sound would be the most satisfying. Like beep, boom, beep, boop, boop, boop. And eventually they found that, and they just even with Quake they had that Quake 3 Arena, and that's the most satisfying like sound to hear. As proven through science.
Yeah,
it's
really
it's like
cool.
a casino. It's like a first-person shooter casino, buddy. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much.
That takes
what do we
us
want? Modern Warfare 2, there's still like 15 games to go.
We got time. Black Ops. Let's jump into Black Ops. We got a half an hour to kill, unless you want to talk about something else.
No, let's go through it. We're halfway down this road.
Black Ops, obviously made by that was
Treyarch.
If I'm not mistaken, Treyarch?
Yeah,
not Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer started the...
Sledgehammer only did Advanced Warfare. That was their first game.
Oh, okay, cool. So obviously Black Ops became iconic, in fact, so iconic that basically, we're getting a remake, a reimagining of it in the latest title coming out this year called Cold War, which we're going to see the multiplayer reveal of in just half an hour, ladies and gents. We're going to keep the stream going, so if you want to see that reveal, make sure you stay where you are, because we're going to play straight into the reveal. So you don't even have to go anywhere. We got the action right here.
If you're listening on audio, you're not going to hear any of that, though.
Yeah, you'll edit that out. So unfortunately, you'll miss that. But Black Ops was huge. Obviously, it was the first Call of Duty game where the narrative was full of like twists and turns. I don't think it had alternative endings. I think the second one did.
No, the first one didn't have alternative endings, but the first one
had a big twist.
First one was really, really good, and the first one also had all the little secret stuff built into it, where you could like unlock that top-down, top-down shooter mode. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Yes.
It was sort of like old school, arcade gaming mode. You could unlock more levels in the zombie mode, which was my favorite zombie mode was Black Ops as one, because it added a whole bunch of new stuff, but not the overly ridiculous stuff that they have now, where the complexity of it was like you can't just pick up and play the new zombie modes. I find where that one you can still pick up and play, and you can play it over and over and again. And I remember me and you sitting trying to get to we could get to level 13 of the mansion or whatever, and then we could never get past. So we played it for hours trying to get past it. And also they had JFK and Richard Nixon as presidents that you could play as, and it was just ridiculous. Crazy. Yeah,
which was crazy cool. You get that underground bunker. I think I even remember taking my PlayStation 3 on holiday on a beach holiday on the last couple of years, and just booting that up with a couple of family friends. And dude, you even though it's very old, you get straight back into it. Pick up and play. I think even Megan had a few rounds in that zombie mode and enjoyed herself.
Yeah.
So that was a sweet spot. Like you say, it gets when jetpacks were introduced and stuff like that. It got way out of hand. I personally thought it was amazing, but it wasn't as easy to pick up and play, like you said. Black Ops.
Yeah. I guess we're gonna get to it. What was that mode? That weird alien defense mode game that they introduced with Advanced?
That was Infestation mode. That was with Call of Duty Ghost. Dude, that was probably one of the best modes to ever hit the series.
That was when you had to hold the line and people just come and attack you, right?
No, you can't. It's kind of like you got a mission. You work through a linear map.
But there's areas where you get swarmed and attacked all the time.
Yeah, we gotta hold the point. It's very reminiscent of a Starship Troopers, where you're kind of getting attacked by
I didn't like it just because it was weird aliens and stuff.
It was phenomenal, dude. It was exceptional. I thought.
Me and you have very different ideas on what games we like.
What made it so great is obviously zombies are like humans. They kind of run, on a single plane. With the infestation mode, everything was vertical. Guys would be on the walls, guys would jump, guys would fly. It was insane. I was like, this is amazing. They're going to do this again. They never did it again. Obviously, zombies had jetpacks. And
didn't they bring it? I think Infinite Warfare had it, didn't it?
Never had it again.
No, it's
Ghost, and Ghost was a standalone. Ghost doesn't fall into the Black Ops or the Modern Warfare, in terms of lore. It's purely a one-off standalone title.
But it was,
which I was surprised.
Because there was Black Ops, then there was Modern Warfare 3, which I thought was just a bit of a rehash of Modern Warfare 2 and not as good.
So Modern Warfare 3, so let's move on to Modern Warfare 3. Obviously, like you said, it was good. It had some highs, but by then they were really, I think, like grasping at straws.
And that was also where like they were trying to like bring it more grounded. They were like, okay, it's more boots on the ground. It's less like insanity, which then people got upset about. Like my main issue with it, the single player wasn't great, and the multiplayer maps were very, very boring. But also, like, that went through a bit of development hell because that was the last game that the original crew of Call of Duty developed and made everything. And actually, they were basically fired before the game came out and was released.
Is this when they departed?
Yeah, that was where they were having the huge like fallout with Activision and all of that stuff.
Do you know what that fallout was about?
I think it was about money and creativity. Like they didn't want to carry on creating the same Call of Duties over and over and over again. Yeah. They had other games in mind, which is what you see now with Respawn. Like they made Titanfall, they've made Star Wars, they made Apex, they made that amazing looking Medal of Honor, which is quite a cool thing that they've come full circle back to creating the VR version of the first game they worked on.
Yeah, it looks really good. It looks for a VR title. That's the reason alone to pick up a set for that title. It looks exceptional. But like you said, Modern Warfare 3 did some cool things. I forgot to even mention in Modern Warfare 2 about the no Russian mission. Which was heavily controversial. And with Modern Warfare 3, there wasn't anything really controversial. They never really pushed the boat out. They played it kind of safe.
And it was the ending of that story, and it kind of was a bit of a
story. The only thing they introduced, it was a bit of a predictable ending. The only thing they introduced, which was kind of cool, was they had kind of a what do they call it, like a horde mode. They had like a Call of Duty horde mode, which I thought was kind of cool. You could set up turrets and defenses and actually, which was the first for the series.
That was weird. Also, it introduced Kill Confirmed, which is still probably my favorite multiplayer mode. Yeah. And I remember that's one of the best memories I had is like all of my mates at that time. We all had an Xbox 360. We all had Xbox Live. So every Tuesday night at 8:30, everyone would jump on. We had like 9 to 12 guys every Tuesday just playing Modern Warfare 3.
I was one of them.
Yeah, that is the best thing about Modern Warfare 3 is that everyone had it. It was so cool.
I think Nick's clapping a seal in the background. Hold on. I think he's literally like emptying out the deep freeze, one frozen item crackling on the floor at a time. there we go. Yes, you were saying?
Yeah, so like that was the best part of Modern Warfare 3, but it was not my favorite Call of Duty. But then came Black Ops 2, which is possibly in top 3 best Call of Duties of all time.
That's Black Ops 2.
Yeah, dude. Black Ops 2 was almost like the perfection of the Xbox 360 era of Call of Duty. It just had the best balance, the best maps, the best everything.
Black Ops 2 for me was okay. Like for me, I think I preferred Black Ops 1. Like obviously the multiplayer in Black Ops 2 was very, very strong. The story, not so much. I think I did have alternative endings on that one. Am I correct?
Black Ops 2, yeah, it did. It wasn't really alternative. It was more like you could decide where to go, but you kind of always ended up kind of in the same place. Like,
yes.
It had the alternative ending, but they meant nothing really because Black Ops
like
3
endings of a bit.
But Black Ops 3 is like, you chose this ending, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, I remember that. It's like one of two endings. They were basically the same. So Black Ops 2 was okay. Like it certainly wasn't a bad game.
I think it was one of the best. The multiplayer in that was top notch.
You enjoyed it, eh?
Yeah.
So you said your number one would be.
We'll get to that later. We'll get to that.
Oh, we'll read it at the end. I like this. Then obviously we have Call of Duty goes. Welcome to the Triple T. By the way, he says what are we talking about? We're doing a quick Call of Duty retrospective before we jump into the brand new Call of Duty Cold War multiplayer reveal that's coming up in about 25 minutes. So stick around, buddy. Make sure you get those shares into the world, TN. Modern Warfare 2, hands down, best card ever. Ooh, mixed opinions. We're going to rate it at the end, guys. I want to see what gets the most votes. We should do a poll. We should there we go. We should do
why don't you set up a poll quickly?
You want to ask this guy to set up a poll?
Because I have to stop the video if I set up a poll.
Don't worry. Just guys, let us know in the comments.
We'll do it in the comments.
Your favorite
Stays
Call of Duty.
lazy.
I'd like to see what you guys say. And then obviously, like I said, Call of Duty Ghosts is the next title. This was a bit of a doozy. And this is where things started to go a little bit wrong for the franchise, the IP.
So
Call of
did we talk?
You
We
wanna take
talk
us
about
in,
Black Ops 2. Yeah. So Call of Duty Ghosts, also developed by Infinity Ward, but it wasn't really Infinity Ward. It's whatever the new Infinity Ward is, and they've really upped their game, and they're really a good studio now. But Ghosts was not a good Call of Duty. It was a next gen launch title. So it was a launch title for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox 360. I mean Xbox One X or One. But it looked like it could have been a PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 game. And I think it did actually come out on those as well. So it was like a cross-platform. I remember they didn't have much going when like most of the pre-release was about the dog and the fish AI. You know, when you Riley the dog and Riley the dog's cool, don't get me wrong, the dog was about the best part of that game. And the single player in that game, it is one of the best single player Call of Duty campaigns. Dude, that game, it is roller coaster, non-stop, super action packed, super cool. The worst thing about it though is that it ends on a cliffhanger, and they're like, "Wait till the next episode," and it never happened.
Just remind me.
So you end up fighting the main bad guy underwater. You're like in a submarine or something, and it starts sinking, and you have to get out of the submarine. And then you finally you get out the submarine and you're underwater and you have to swim up, and you have to like push X or something. I can't remember what the button combo was. You had to like just do the struggle mechanic to get up to the surface, and you make it to the surface.
Who was the enemy?
It was like the general. I can't remember. Like it's been a little while since I played that game. But you get to the surface. You're on this beach. You're on this beautiful like Thailand beach, like from the beach, the movie, and you're relaxing and you're like, yes, the world's all better. You're seeing this ship or thing exploding and landing in the background, and you're like, sweet, the bad guy's dead because you like shot him 10 times in the previous sequence. And then like you're just relaxing and the credits start coming up, and then he pulls you over and is about to stab you, and then it fades to black, and then that's the end of the game.
Well, I think what they were trying to do is kickstart like a new storyline with obviously separate from Black Ops.
Cool. It really was.
For me, the multiplayer was trash, hot trash. Infestation mode was phenomenal. It doesn't get the level it should get. It was absolutely incredible, and I probably played it more than I have most zombie modes. And the single player was okay, but it was definitely one of the weaker installments, and I think that's where things started to get rocky. Because next up we have Advanced Warfare,
but also
which still wasn't bad.
Just the last thing on Ghost, the multiplayer was terrible. Like
it was a hot trash fire.
It had like a time to kill. Like everyone complains about the time to kill now. That game was basically like someone breathes on you and you die, and it had these long open maps. So just snipers parried. Oh, it was terrible.
The maps felt like they were pulled out of 2005.
And on PC, it never ran properly. It always was slow. It was just a terrible game.
Welcome, JPJ Squeaky Bum Jimmy in the house. Good to have you here. I haven't seen him in ages. It's been a long time, buddy. Been a long time. I'm sure your bum's still just as squeaky as I remember. Good to have you here. Advanced Warfare. Now, this wasn't too bad. This was obviously Infinity Ward at the helm again.
No.
Jetpacks.
Advanced Warfare was Sledgehammer's first game.
Oh, sorry. Forgive me. Sledgehammer.
And the most interesting thing, it was the game where I think Dr. Disrespect, designed about 5 multiplayer levels. He did Solar. He did a couple of like the well-known levels. He was the main level designer on that.
Yeah, he did a lot of great levels. Guy Beam, obviously, for those that know him personally, like me, we play poker on Wednesdays, online, of course. But yes, the Doc did do a lot of work on that game. It was a solid game. It introduced a lot of cool mechanics. Like I think that's where it was the exosuits. So we had like mini jetpacks. I think wall running introduced in that one.
Yeah, you could wall run. You could do jetpack boosting, double jumping,
sliding.
Like I loved Advanced Warfare.
Really?
Also, it had the Levolution because remember Battlefield 4 came out, or Battlefield 3 came out with the Levolution. So Call of Duty added it in. So they had the multiplayer levels where halfway through the level would change, which I thought is a really cool mechanic that we haven't seen. Like I don't think every level needs to have it, but I think like, you know, it's quite an interesting thing having it like, especially like a capture the flag style or a domination where the level changes halfway through.
Yeah. It's a great mechanic that, like you said, we don't see like enough of.
Yeah.
You know, even in other shooters, like we see it on a grander scale now in terms of battle royale. Every 6 months, the entire map will like, go through a levolution, so to speak.
Yeah.
So maybe in a way that's where they stole
Yeah,
it
but
from. Jimmy's
it's
saying,
not. Sorry.
No, carry on. Yeah.
It's not like it like evolves over like months, where this was like in the middle of a map, it would change immediately. Like you'd have
Yes.
the volcano going off, so you'd have to get to the safe side, and level flooding, so everything changes around. The only problem with like it works better in Battlefield because the matches are so much longer. Where in Call of Duty, it was like, okay, you know the levolution is going to happen at this time, so you better start moving across. When Battlefield, it had a bit of variation of when it was actually going to happen.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it's just a shame. Like it's kind of been forgotten about. Hopefully, maybe who knows? Cold War might reintroduce it. I doubt it.
That would be cool.
You know. Bert is welcome. Jimmy saying he forgot his mouse at the shoot. Damn it, Jimmy. Damn it. I'm sure they'll hold on to it for you. Advanced Warfare, the one that straight up copied Titanfall. Well, this is true. Obviously, when the studio split, you know, well, the main heads of Infinity Ward went to go make Titanfall. I think some guys back at Activision HQ were a bit jelly and copied a lot of that future tech, which takes us to Black Ops 3. Neil.
Black Ops 3 is where the decline started for me.
Fresh fire!
I was so excited for that game, like looking at the previews and everything. And I was really hoping for a continuation of that, like, you know, future, like alternate future thing. Black Ops 3 did have those really cool flashback levels to World War II.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you remember those, like the frozen forest and stuff, but like it tried to pull off the numbers from Black Ops 1, but it never quite got there. And then your
multiplayer was weak.
Yeah, and the multiplayer was, I don't know, the multiplayer just never hit me. It had the heal mechanic, didn't it? Where you re-injected yourself to heal
It
up.
did, like little stim. Yeah, you could re-heal, which was new. It had a wall running, it had all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it felt like a cheaper version of Advanced Warfare.
Yeah.
And a less polished version of
and it
Advanced
didn't have
Warfare.
the double jump, so it felt like, okay, you can do all these cool maneuvers, but
Yeah.
why are you doing them?
Yeah.
The other interesting thing,
it didn't feel solid.
the best thing about Advanced Warfare, which is like very like not cool now, is that it had old what's his name as the main character, Kevin Spacey.
Oh, Kevin Spacey,
like at the top of his game. That was when like we have to have Kevin Spacey. Now
House of Cards.
now everyone's like, oh, I guess no Kevin Spacey then.
Well, dude, he was playing a bad guy. So in hindsight, Call of
Yeah.
Duty was predicting the
He was
future.
basically just playing the exact character he was on House of Cards.
Exactly. Dude, dodgy. It's like into Kevin Spacey. It's a whole other can of worms. Black Ops 3, like I said, forgettable. I think it was one of the lowest points.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
And it's disappointing because it was Treyarch, and Treyarch had delivered
supposed to
Black
be
Ops
what
2.
it is.
They were on the up and up, and then it just went down.
So, I mean, Ghost was weak. Black Ops 3 was probably weaker, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So you had two titles, almost a year apart. It was
Yeah.
super weak. And then we had Modern Warfare remastered. Call of Duty Modern Warfare remastered, which
cool.
was phenomenal.
Yeah. But it's just a remaster. It's nothing new. They didn't do anything different with it.
Raven did an incredible job.
Yeah.
It obviously had the multiplayer included as well, which was exceptional. And like I said, they did such a good job with their remaster. They gave Raven the opportunity to make their own game because Raven's making Cold War, I think.
No,
They're
is
heading
it
up Cold War.
Treyarch?
I don't think so,
Actually,
buddy.
don't
It's
know.
worth the Google. It's worth one Google. So the remaster was phenomenal. Like, for those that haven't played it, go play it. It's basically the remaster of probably the best Call of Duty game ever made. And then we have Infinite Warfare. Interesting.
Yes. This one also
interesting.
this was like the bottom of the pit for Call of Duty as in the
No,
modern
that was
times.
Black Ops. That was Black Ops 4.
4. Okay.
No, Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
But
or
tell
Black-
me
yeah.
what you think.
So like I haven't played this version, and I really want to. I've never played Infinite Warfare because I was like, after Black Ops 3, I'm like, I'm not spending another R1,000 on a disappointing Call of Duty. And it was going back to like an enhanced movement, double jumps, space fighting, all of this stuff. So I was like, I want boots on the ground like everyone wants. And I don't want that from my Call of Duty. So I never bought it. And apparently, the single player campaign is
solid, buddy.
top notch. It is everyone says it's probably the best Call of Duty campaign, but never
solid,
played it. Multiplayer was forgettable, wasn't as good as Advanced Warfare, and wasn't as big as Black Ops 3. So guys just didn't play it.
It had a lot of celebrity pull. It had the dude from Game of Thrones, Snow.
Oh, Jon Snow.
Jon Snow. He was obviously.
What's his name?
I think he was the bad guy. It even had who's the UFC guy, crazy Irish guy.
Oh, Colin McGregor.
It even had Conor McGregor in it as one as the bad guy. So it had like seriously cool villains and story and all that sort of stuff. But and I actually enjoyed the space fighting stuff. I enjoyed like coming down from the spacecraft, ejecting out.
Is it a Call of Duty game at that point though?
Bro, dude, if you haven't played it, do yourself a favor and play it. It's a lot of fun. I think you'll get a big kick out of it. Like, you love spaceships and you love space warfare.
Yeah, no, look, I dig it, but is it a Call of Duty game? Like, it's more like a space shooty game.
It almost feels like a space, like a Call of Duty in space.
Yeah,
you know, it's like which is okay. They had to come up with something new before like hitting the time machine, taking the clocks back to World War II, which was their next title. That was Infinity Ward, if I'm not mistaken.
That was
wrong again.
Sledgehammer.
Just finishing off on Infinite Warfare. I went to the UK to play that. I had hands on with that early on, and I remember sitting down to play that for they let us sit down for 2.5 days to play the game through. And I just had to low key flex there and throw that in there because that was the first time I think I'd ever went overseas, and I got to speak to all the guys from Activision. And that was an incredible experience. Obviously, with World War II, I was involved with some of the stuff as well, but not as I didn't get to go overseas.
That was my first rage with you, Dave. Was Call of Duty World War II.
You remember? That was where our journey to this point began, Neil.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think you're right.
It planted the seeds of Super2Bit there.
Deep in the mind. And World War II for me. I'm a huge fan of the era. Saving Private Ryan's my favorite movie of all time. Fascinated about that era. I've been to Omaha Beach. I've been to Normandy. I've done all the tours. I'm a big history buff when it comes to that sort of period. So for me, that was just tickled me pink. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I still haven't played it. I've got it installed on my PlayStation 4. I haven't played it.
Who's this guy?
I don't have time. I got to fit in some racing games in between all of this.
That game, Neil.
Yeah. I need to play it though. I think unfortunately Sledgehammer didn't deliver as good a game as Advanced Warfare. Like they really came out swinging with Advanced Warfare, and I would have really liked to have seen a sequel or like an evolution of Advanced Warfare from them. But I guess Infinity War probably killed that idea, which is a bit of a pity because I think they really like Advanced Warfare is up there, man. That was a great game. So I definitely am going to play World War II.
World War II is good. It had the over-the-top dismemberment violence as well. It redid the D-Day landings at Omaha Beach, which was phenomenal. I think they did a great job. It's a phenomenal game, dude, and also had a lot of AAA stars in it. It had the dude Josh Duhamel was one of the leads. It was a great game. Like, dude, you're gonna love it, bro. I'm so disappointed in you right now. Seriously, like two of the greatest Call of Duty titles you've never even played. But anyway.
Well, I didn't get them for free like someone did, so that's maybe why.
I had to go overseas and play the video game for 2 days and stay in a hotel. My cross to bear. Call of Duty Black Ops 4,
also known as the Poo game.
Dude, this
game, the game that hoodwinked the world, is what that game.
This for me was terrible.
The promise of it was amazing. Like Battle Royale, Call of Duty, it's what everyone wanted.
Well, in fairness, it did do that. You know what I'm saying?
But I hated it. Like I could not play the Battle Royale mode properly. In South Africa, they removed all the modes, so you could only play. You could only play like one mode, and it was terrible, and you could never find a game. It was horrendous.
Oh, guys! It looks like the live stream's just begun.
Well,
Craig Martin just gave me the heads up here.
Should I have a look?
We may have to quickly before we cut to the live stream, Neil. Let's just finish up here, buddy. I think we've got about 2 or 3 minutes left. Have you got it there?
It looks 7 minutes.
Okay. 7 minutes. We still got 7 minutes.
I'll leave it running in the background, so we've got a timer.
Let's just get this was a low point for me. It did introduce Battle Royale in the Call of Duty universe, which I think is great, and I think they did a decent job. Not as good as obviously Warzone, which is the next game.
Yeah.
We're not gonna touch on the mobile division. I never really got to play it. I don't think you did either, but I know it's
played a bit
popular.
of it. It's a really good game, like for a mobile
It's
game.
not bad for a mobile game. It looks like a PS3 game on mobile, maybe even an early entry-level PS4 game. But Modern Warfare, Warzone, where we are today, phenomenal. A return to former grace. I think they did.
The single player is good. The multiplayer is the best multiplayer they've had since Black Ops 2, maybe Advanced Warfare, maybe
possibly Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah,
even I would say that
really, really good. Like I know that everyone complains about it or whatever, but like everyone's actually playing it. Everyone says it could be better in these small ways, but everyone's playing it, which I think always to me means that it's doing itself a good job. It is what it is.
Dude, when you talk about a game that just everyone I know is playing, I mean, guys that were never gamers before literally purchased systems to play this game. And I'm talking about like guys that have never played, like guys that maybe owned a PlayStation 2, back in varsity.
Well, the fact that it's free is, a huge deal. And they're probably making more money off it than any other Call of Duty as well, with the battle passes and the skins and the packs and all of that stuff. It's an amazing game. Like, guys can get upset with it or whatever, but like, that game is really, really good.
It is so solid. I think the fact that they had 50 million players in Warzone is an accomplishment. Like you say, giving Warzone away for free, no barrier for entry, was genius. Cross-platform, the fact that if you're on PlayStation 4, you can play with guys on PC, way overdue and genius.
And it's very like not what you would think Call of Duty would do. You'd think like, no, they've got their built-in audience. Like, we're all going to play the game. And I think we are finally getting to the actual title of the stream is like, why do we keep coming back to Call of Duty? It's because if you look at the overall averages of like what we went through, probably 80% of the games are actually good games. Of those 80%, 50% of them are amazing games. And there's one or two bad ones. The problem is the one or two bad ones really leave a sour taste in your mouth, so you feel really bad. Whereas,
but it's like, oh, that wasn't great, but it wasn't like I feel bad for spending the money.
Yeah, exactly.
But
except for Black Ops 4, I felt bad for spending the money. That was a bad game.
But that brings me to a question, Neil, and a question I want to extend to the chat as well. I want you to rate your top 3 Call of Duty games in order from best to
from
third.
Worst, yeah. So let me start number 3 to number 2 to number 1.
Okay.
Ooh, all right.
Chat, get involved here.
Number 3.
Ooh.
All right. This is quite difficult, actually.
It's difficult, bro. It's all good games.
Okay. Number 3 is Advanced Warfare. Definitely.
Fair enough.
That movement. I still remember that trailer where the guy like jumps up and then boosts backwards and then jumps down like over a little bridge to shoot the guy like who was running underneath him. The old like Top Gun maneuver.
It was like verticality.
Verticality. That is what
verticality.
I like how all of them have their little catchphrase: verticality, boots on the ground. So number 3, Advanced Warfare. Like, that was cool. The Levolution was cool. The fact that the doc made the levels, even though I don't know who the doc was, like I could feel it like in the game.
Feel his influence.
Number 2 is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. That's my number 2. Like, that game, just because that game is that game. That game was like, okay, this is next gen. This is playing online. I remember coming to your house and like watching the replay, the kill cam replay of the grenade, like flying over the level, and I was like, wow, that's next gen. And like, the voice chat and playing with your mates and all of that kind of stuff.
Number one, Neil. Hey?
Do you know what my number one is?
I actually don't, to be
Don't you
honest.
know? All right.
No.
Well,
Black Ops?
let me hear what your number 3 and number 2 is, and then I'll
No,
tell
they
you
will
what my
finish
number
you
1.
off, and then we'll get to me.
All
What's
right.
your number one?
My number 1 is the original Black Ops. That game blew
so.
my mind. Also,
I
like
thought so.
the
Good game.
just single player story wise, best single player campaign in Call of Duty ever. Like super fun, super interesting. I love like alternative history stuff. And the multiplayer was also really, really, really solid. It was basically just Modern Warfare with a couple of tweaks, which was still really good. So I really loved that. All right, your top 3.
Well, Craig Martin's top 3 is 3 Modern Warfare 2, 2 Modern Warfare 1, and 1 COD 2. Interesting pick for number 1 there, Craig.
Also,
for me,
your formatting is like making my brain go insane.
Yeah, I think it's like I haven't been drinking, Craig. Excuse me. So my number 3, believe it or not, has to be Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Dude, Warzone.
No, dude, it's a good game. It's probably my 4 or 5. So then
it has. Bad about it. I have put so many hours into this, way more than the last couple. It's just kind of brought a lot of my old friends back from my high school days together. The amount of Call of Duty WhatsApp groups I have for guys from the old days just wanting to jam, Like I said, guys have just go out to buy consoles just to play this game. In a way, it brought a lot of, and obviously the timing of the game, with COVID and all that sort of stuff, it brought a lot of the old lads together. So for me, it was kind of a special title. And I love it. I think they did a phenomenal job. Like you said, they really did knock it out of the park. Number 2, Modern Warfare 2.
All right.
Hans Zimmer.
Where your number 1's going.
Hans Zimmer. The fact that you got the Gulag, I'm a big fan of movies like The Rock, 1995 or whatever it is. And there was so many callbacks to classic 90s action movies in that game. It was like a nostalgia overload, and obviously the multiplayer was insane. For me, there was a lot of highs in that, and obviously number 1. Yeah,
Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. That was the game changer for me. That was by far the best Call of Duty. The remaster was exceptional as well, and without a doubt, my favorite, hands down. No two ways about it.
There's no real wrong answers at the end of the day.
There's no real wrong answer. But with that said,
except
guys,
Black Ops 4, that's the wrong answer.
A few seconds away from the live feed here. So we're going to say thank you so much. Don't go anywhere. We're going to transition straight into the live feed of the reveal. We're going to watch it ourselves. We want you guys to have full screen, HD, full volume. We don't want to distract you with our sexiness. So thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you, everybody.
And enjoy the reveal. Call of Duty Cold War multiplayer reveal coming up in just a few seconds. Much love to you guys. For the rest of your night.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
into every element of our game's world. That influences every bit of our world building. For Black Ops Cold War, that world building drove each multiplayer level in 2 ways. With the signature level design you've come to expect, and by pushing the visual bar and immersing players into a narrative of unfolding events. The fight to recover a downed satellite in the Central African desert, battles that unfold on the neon-soaked streets of Miami's famed South Beach. Deniable Ops are the Black Ops stories inspired by history, but forgotten by the history books. We've selected 5 maps to give you a small taste of the range of Deniable Ops awaiting in multiplayer. Later today, you'll see them playing. But here's a few of my teammates to share what they loved most from how they were made.
My name is Brittany Beidelman. I'm a level designer.
I'm Kendall Snow, associate level designer.
I'm Brittany Perello, producer.
I'm Matt Kutris, senior level designer.
In Satellite, a top secret American recon satellite
Has lost power.
And crashed in the deserts of Angola. With hired DJI forces closing in,
now it's a race to secure the crash site.
what I love about Satellite is the fact that it's just this amazing natural space.
Because larger maps have more components, we can apply more details into maps like Satellite, which make them feel even more natural. The satellite at the center is like a king of the hill. Anyone who wants it has to run toward you because it's raised higher than the rest of the map.
I'm usually playing one of 2 ways. All in, full ham, dying again and again. Or in objective modes, I'll flank and get the jump on people. Satellite scratches both of those itches. Even though it's an outdoor space, the map's 2 different regions mean I can play long and short range tactics.
I'll be honest, I am trash with the sniper rifle, but a shotgun, that I can do. I have always been a big fan of close quarters combat, and there is great cat and mouse style gameplay in Satellite.
The crashed satellite is a super fun spot to try and outplay your enemies. Predict which way they'll circle the debris to run up behind them, or just duck inside the satellite and take your shot.
This is going to be one of those classic Black Ops maps the world knows and loves for how quickly engagements fire up. East and West collide on the open seas in a top-secret mission.
Inspired by a real-life event, Project Azorian, CIA, JSOC, and Soviet forces converged to recover a sunken prototype nuclear Soviet submarine from the ocean floor.
The calm waters of Armada explode into massive naval conflict as players battle for control of large naval vessels.
With no lanes walling you in, players can engage on ships' decks, in the water, and on vehicles like wake runners and gunboats. Armada is chaos in the best way.
This really cool map that gives this amazing sense of exploration. There are so many little individual areas to find and new ways to surround or flank your enemies and get the upper hand.
A hidden safe house has been discovered right in the heart of the USSR, in the shadow of Moscow's opulent train station. With Spetsnaz dispatched, the area has gone hot.
So the Moscow map is set in the dead heart of a big city. So you're wandering through these streets with a bunch of cars, and there's tall buildings on either side of you.
There's this sense that you've been dropped into a point in history.
First thing I do is run right to the center because that's where all lanes cross in the Moscow map. And eventually, it doesn't take long, people are gonna run through the metro station. So you can just sit there and wait, but chances are there's gonna be people running right into your line of fire right off the bat.
It's a classic 3-lane map where teamwork really makes the dream work.
January 17th, 1984. This location is heavily influenced by Miami's famous, or perhaps infamous, Ocean Drive. This is a night map, but one unlike players have seen before.
You can sneak through dark, shadowy alleys, go out onto the beach, out into the ocean.
You can dive in the water and wade along the coast to get the drop on the other side.
Or you can just go right down the street and bask in the neon light.
The first time I played through Miami, I could hear this 80s nightclub music playing through the walls of one of the buildings. Little details make it lifelike, and it becomes this joy to experience.
Basically, my goal is to never be on the main street in the center, because that is sniper heaven, and that is Brittany hell. So I always go and try to flank and get those snipers from the back.
Our art and design teams worked really hard to bring the best possible night experience to the players. You'll see that play out when you sneak in the shadows on the beach or engage enemies in the center strip.
It really makes people feel like they're in Miami in the 80s. It's pretty cool.
In Crossroads, NATO has learned a large Soviet missile convoy is on its way to the border.
Special forces dispatch alongside MI6 to ambush the convoy and secure the weapons before all hell breaks loose.
Soviet convoy disabled.
It's one of our most cinematic maps with a boots-on-the-ground feel that feels pulled from the campaign.
Your team will want to hold down and protect its own outpost to guarantee access to one of these tanks. But infantry combat doesn't take a backseat in Crossroads, as natural terrain and foliage masks movements and provides tactical advantages.
There's a bunch of snowmobiles when you first spawn, and it's a mad dash to grab one. And now, running people over with the snowmobile is my favorite thing to do.
Each environment changes the dynamic of how you play and caters to unique loadouts. Crossroads is a bigger map, and that allows you to play the way you want to play.
The beaches of Miami, a frozen over lake, the open ocean. Our visual research department racked up miles visiting them all, because if you're going to deploy around the globe in this game, that required them to do the same. The mission for our artist is absolute authenticity. Step one in that process is photo scanning thousands of real-world objects, terrains, and materials. Those assets ensure our upgraded, physically based renderer delivers the best-looking Black Ops yet. True 4K, high dynamic range with the true color and tone, ray tracing on systems that support it, photometric lighting courtesy of our Luminaire system, and overhauled contour terrain system. The result is gritty, it's believable, I dare say it's got ambience. Most importantly, it sets the perfect stage for multiplayer combat. On that note, here's Matt with more on the modes and missions ahead.
We've talked a little bit about where you'll play, but let's talk about what you'll play when you get there. In Black Ops Cold War, our classic game modes are returning, and they're better than ever. From the tried and true Team Deathmatch, Domination, and Search and Destroy, to the return of the competitive game mode Control, we've taken a fresh eye to all of your favorites. We're encouraging more meaningful gameplay with larger capture zones and Domination. We're updating spawn systems in Hardpoint, and now we show you where the next Hardpoint will spawn so you can regroup, rotate, and set up for the next fight. Across all of our classic modes, we're working hard to make this the most rewarding and competitive multiplayer experience yet. And while your go-to modes are coming back better than ever, let's talk about the innovative new modes you'll be going to next. With that, let me introduce you to my teammate Marquise Gladney, who's here to tell you about the brand new multiplayer experience we call VIP Escort.
VIP Escort began with a question. How can we create a game mode inspired by the kind of real-life, totally true, but completely redacted Black Ops that first inspired this franchise? The result is Extraction in its purest form, a new 6-on-6 objective-based game mode we call VIP Escort. In Black Ops, we normally task you with fighting, but VIP Escort turns that on its head with a new mechanic. If you're selected as the VIP, your number one job, it's to live. In this team-based op, your team will try to escort you off the map or eliminate the other team trying to stop you. As VIP, you'll skip Create a Class, you're too important after all. Instead, you'll deploy with a kitted out pistol, a smoke grenade, a spy plane for team intel, and a whole lot of hope that your team knows what the hell it's doing. The mission? Stay alive and escape the map. To do so, you'll need to reach one of two possible exfil sites, which rotate over the course of the match to keep teams on their toes. There are stakes here. If you die, that ends the round. But team up and you can get your squad back on their feet quickly via last stand and revive. Each team's choices and tactics create layers of strategy and counterplay, injecting the best of Black Ops themes directly into this competition. Will your team pull Cold War mind games and misdirection by splitting up the squad to draw fire and create distractions for the VIP? Or is a full-on assault more their style? Will they travel ahead and scout, run protection detail, or take a bullet for you Secret Service style? My personal keys to victory? I stay close and escort the VIP and defend them at all costs. If the VIP doesn't make it out alive, it won't matter if you do. This new deniable operation only scratches the surface of what it means to play Cold War multiplayer.
Up next, we want to share another new way to play that goes above and beyond that classic 6v6 experience you've come to expect. Combined Arms is where multiplayer gets bigger and badder, bringing together the best of multiplayer's large-scale battles by combining infantry and vehicular gameplay into a single cohesive combat experience. In Combined Arms Domination, players will deploy into 12 versus 12 battles, each customized and unique to its own environment. But these battles aren't just bigger or more chaotic. We've worked hard to ensure the 2 levels of boots on the ground and all-out vehicular warfare complement and enhance one another on each map. Tanks, snowmobiles, wake runners, gunboats, and more. These vehicles amplify the action, sure, but they also create jaw-dropping moments right in the middle of the fight. The way I personally play Combined Arms depends on my mood. If I'm going for the win, it's rally time, and I'm pushing to capture every objective on the map. Whether that means loading up a gunboat on Armada or popping smokes so my team can cross the frozen lake in Crossroads, I'm putting my try-hard pants on and making it happen. And that's the thing, in Combined Arms, almost anything can happen. I'll seek out fun moments that aren't possible in other modes, like ziplining onto the enemy's ship and seeing how long I can last before getting taken out. At launch, you can expect even more Combined Arms maps and modes, each tailored and tuned to bring the most fun, frenetic action this format can deliver. Take Armada, our most unique map to date. You saw earlier that the only life preservers on this sea-based map are your tactics, as each capture zone requires a different approach. Will you attack surgically with a 2-seater wake runner, gather your squad and storm the main ship? From ziplines that traverse the map to all new naval tactics, Armada is Combined Arms Domination realized, bringing high stakes, high-speed combat to the high seas. On Crossroads, you'll trade your wetsuit for a snowsuit, fighting for control of Soviet bunkers across the frozen tundra. With high-powered tanks patrolling the frozen lake and surrounding roads, you'll need to choose how to take on those slow movers. So whether you're hopping onto a snowmobile for a quick flank or rolling up your sleeves and sticking on some C4, the story is yours to write in Combined Arms Domination. That's it for Deniable Operations for now. We ziplined, crossed frozen lakes, and dipped into Miami's beaches. That's really just the start of the full Deniable Ops experience. Add up the work on your favorite classic game modes to the arrival of new modes like VIP Escort and Combined Arms Domination, and it all stacks up to our most ambitious multiplayer yet. One you can play any way you want and in new ways you never expected. If you're a Call of Duty League fan, we have a bunch of new stuff lined up just for you. Stay tuned. This may be a multiplayer game built for everyone, but these will be your Deniable Operations. And now, I'll turn it over to Tony to talk about what we mean when we say signature combat.
Thanks, Matt. Now, a lot has changed for us since the first Black Ops game. From our development pipelines to totally new technologies, but some things haven't changed. And after over a decade of making Black Ops games, we're more inspired than ever to keep honing in on that authentic, classic Black Ops feel, all while taking it to new heights. Now we know that to you, combat is more than just pointing and shooting. It's about how your operator moves and weaves through your surroundings. It's feeling the power of your weapon, how it reacts in your hands. It's the sound of bullets storming past you, the rattle and bang of firing your weapon. In Cold War, we're back to plausible, authentic, boots-on-the-ground combat, and that has allowed us to not only refine the feel of the game, but build on all the classic foundations of Black Ops. Heads-up gameplay, automated healing, and grounded movement. Keeping your player experience in the front of our minds has also inspired a fresh wave of thinking across our Creative Class and Scorestreaks systems, where we're introducing features that bring unprecedented transparency to your planning and cinematic wow moments to when you're playing. Now, innovating systems while still capturing that signature Black Ops super smooth feel is a notoriously tricky thing to get just right, and we put everything we have into it for each game. This is an absolute team effort, so I brought some of my friends from the combat team to help tell you about our initiatives for this game and how they've resulted in signature combat that feels just right. Here's Max Porter to start us off.
We've taken lessons learned from across Black Ops and the entire Call of Duty franchise to land on a truly best-in-class weapon experience. The gun is almost always right in front of you and must look great. From a gun's seams down to its grime, the level of detail in Black Ops Cold War has never been higher. But our weapons also need to move in a realistic manner. You'll feel it in this game, whether you're clocking from long range or firing from the hip. When we think about a gun, we think about the way it looks, the way it's gonna move, but a big part of a gun's personality is the sound that it makes. It's like the bark of a dog. We're sort of imagining all these guns as characters. That just adds to that level of realism and that sort of immersive quality that is unique to Call of Duty. It's this multifaceted approach to how weapons look, animate, and sound that together defines the feel of Cold War's signature gunfighting experience. Here's Alvin with a debrief on some of the other combat systems waiting for you in Cold War.
Let's talk about two of the most significant and impactful features of multiplayer: Create a Class and Scorestreaks. Our goal with Create a Class in Cold War is to empower you without making trade-offs. This year, better starts with simpler. Create a Class will be a slot-based system. No longer governed by allocations or the Pick 10 system, you'll always boast a full class of a primary, secondary, lethal, tactical, field upgrade, and a set of perks. Field upgrades are items placed in the world to give your team an advantage. You can earn them solely based on time, not score, and they are the only type of game content that works on a cooldown that lasts after death. Now, wild cards are back. In this system, in every class, you can pick one of 4 wild cards that let you do things like load your primary weapon with up to 8 attachments, carry up to 6 perks, double the number of lethals and tacticals you have, or carry 3 primary perks from any mix of categories. Of course, a key component of Create a Class is the gunsmith. In Black Ops Cold War, there are more optics and attachments to unlock and configure than ever before. Every primary weapon can be customized with 54 attachments across 8 different nodes or attachment points, with at least 6 options per attach point. By default, you can equip 5 attachments, or 8 with the Gunfighter wildcard. For the first time, Gunsmith will show you what equipping an attachment does as a positive or negative percentage. You can now build backwards, speccing out the perfect gun for results you want to see in the field. This takes the guesswork out of the system and helps us on our never-ending quest to make the most balanced Call of Duty game you've ever played. There's one more thing I need to talk about. First up, we've updated Scorestreaks so that earned score is kept through death. This change gives all players a chance to engage with Scorestreaks, one of the most visceral and fun experiences across multiplayer's signature combat. If you do go on a streak and string together multiple kills before your own death, streak score bonuses help you earn into those higher-powered Scorestreak tiers. To prevent Scorestreak spam, each Scorestreak will go on a cooldown after it's used to pace out frequency. So, what Scorestreaks are we talking about? Well, your favorites are back, but we've also got a few surprises. Scorestreaks in Cold War can be used in all the classic ways: to aid in taking an objective, to save your team, to break up the pace of the game with a fun new experience. We've also tailored strategy into the system, as Scorestreaks can often be neutralized with a counter Scorestreak. And now I'll pass it over to Sunny to share more about our operators and how they move in Black Ops Cold War.
Elite, covert, powerful. When you play as a Cold War operator, you won't just step into the boots of a highly trained precision instrument. Every movement will have a purpose. To increase the fidelity and feel of even the smallest elements, modelers, animators, and concept artists all work side by side, planning for every point of contact with every gun, every stance and position, every scenario. Thanks to increased dynamic bone counts, we've been able to enhance the effects of physics and gravity on what you carry, from the weight of your gear, like pouches and grenades, to the way a wallet chain or rope sways as you sprint. Your entire operator will move more naturally than ever. Here's 4 specific ways movement has improved through new cutting-edge techniques in animation and programmatic movement. The first is sprint takeoff. This is the feature that gives your operator a running start. You start with a little sprint and then it slows down to normal speed. This lets you feel the momentum of like where you're going and where you're going to end up. We wanted to preserve the fluidity and fun of an operator's ability to slide. In Black Ops Cold War, when you slide, you start and end in a crouch position in a believable way. This allows two-player movement states to function better as one, all while improving gameplay and enhancing pace. Footstep control also plays a big part of the new movement system. Go faster and you'll make more noise. Of course, we still have Ninja as a perk, but Ninja is no longer the only way to keep quiet. Whether or not you're crouched, how loud you get is now directly tied to how fast you're moving. Lastly, we've incorporated a classic jump with a much more natural height, which will very briefly slow you down on landing. Our goal in all of these movement mechanics is to ensure operators' actions are not just authentic, but intuitive. When you press a button or a key, you should always feel in control of your operator, and this system has been built to translate your decisions into dynamic movement more seamlessly than ever. The era of the game might be the 80s, but the characters you play will move and shoot like the world's most highly skilled operators.
Signature combat. It isn't just how a gun is shot, it's how that gun feels, how it sounds, how it's designed to create a combat experience. And combat isn't just about conflict, it's also movement. So the fluid ways in which your operators shift around the AO and carry the gear you outfit them in is just as important as the choices you give them. Choices like the overhauled Create Class system, or all those attachment possibilities in Gunsmith, or the new ways you can earn and deploy Scorestreaks in the thick of battle. These combat initiatives work together to deliver the most intuitive, plausible, authentic, boots-on-the-ground experience possible, and they are at the heart of Black Ops Cold War. Now on that note, I'd like to introduce Miles, who's going to discuss some of the biggest innovations yet.
Thanks, Tony. All right, everyone, let's talk Warzone. You've seen how we're pouring it all into the Cold War multiplayer experience, but let's confirm it right here, right now. Black Ops Cold War will also usher in the next evolution of Call of Duty Warzone, continuing and expanding the blockbuster Battle Royale free-to-play experience. And it'll be a true evolution, with Warzone not merely picking up where the Modern Warfare climax left off narratively, but also interweaving the themes, locations, weapons, and vehicles of Black Ops Cold War right into the action. Cold War and Warzone will also share post-launch content from a narrative standpoint across both the Battle Pass system and item shop content. This interlinks Call of Duty in ways that evolve the Warzone experience while delivering jaw-dropping moments. So yeah, you can expect some surprises along the way. One surprise we're avoiding is the feeling of starting over. It's important to us that you can still use your characters and weapons and progression-related items, which is why investment and progress in Cold War is reflected in Warzone. While these are two very big games, from the beginning they've been built to work together. Your player experience is everything to us. So we're making sure Black Ops Cold War and Warzone share progression, with much of your previously earned Modern Warfare content, from weapons to cosmetics, still available for use in both Warzone and Modern Warfare. We're collaborating with our studio partners across Call of Duty to preserve continuity while building a new chapter of Warzone that'll immerse you into all of the best elements of Black Ops Cold War. That's multiple studios totally committed to continuing this new tradition of insanely fun, absurdly accessible Warzone action. We can't wait for you to see how Verdansk and all of Call of Duty will evolve in the year ahead. But that sense of interconnectedness, it extends beyond just Warzone. That's why I'm excited to confirm that Black Ops Cold War will not only support cross-platform play and progression, but will also deliver cross-generation play to the game. That's because Black Ops Cold War is, at its heart, a connected experience. And playing together on whatever platforms you prefer only betters that experience. Cross-play and cross-progression across current and next-generation systems across all modes. That won't be easy, but it's worth it to allow fans who have never had a chance to play together to squad up and deploy, no barriers between them. And with the Battle Pass system delivering a steady stream of post-launch content, Black Ops Cold War will be the very first cross-platform, cross-generation Call of Duty experience, making it the deepest game in franchise history. Vaughn, where do we go next?
Yeah, Miles, on the subject of platforms, we've got a very special guest, Mark from Enox.
Hey, what's up, Van? On behalf of Beanox, we are extremely excited and proud to bring Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War to Battle.net as the lead PC developer. PC continues to be a critically important pillar of game development for the Call of Duty franchise. In addition to the major improvements we have made to Call of Duty PC in the past, including uncapped frame rates, high refresh rate support, and customized field of view, we're always looking for ways to improve features and customizable settings. One of the biggest improvements this year is that the Black Ops engine now runs on Directx 12. This has led to a huge improvement in terms of performance and latency reduction. For players who prioritize immersive gameplay, we have a great partnership with NVIDIA to bring ray trace effects, performance accelerating deep learning super sampling or DLSS, and RayFX latency optimization technology. We will implement ray trace shadows and ambient occlusion to improve the quality of light shadow and sunlight shadow. This improves surface and contact detail and fixes problems associated with traditional shadow mapping techniques like aliasing, freckling, and disconnected shadows. Also, we will be implementing AI-powered DLSS, so players will be able to increase their frame rate while maintaining the visual quality of the game. For players looking for better responsiveness, we've integrated the Reflex low latency technology to lower system latency. This combines both GPU and game optimization. We're also happy to announce that Reflex will be coming to Call of Duty Warzone in the future. We have so much more to talk about, but right now I would like to hand it back to David Van Der. Van?
We've declassified a whole lot today, and one thing is clear. Black Ops Cold War is here, and it's ushering in a new chapter of deniable operations that are undeniably Call of Duty at its very best. Realistic, plausible, gritty. You've seen our team-wide commitment to storytelling, infusing the story and spirit of the Cold War narrative into everything we do, even in multiplayer. You've seen our emphasis on authenticity shine through every location, every weapon, every vehicle, every character. Each one telling a story we can't wait for you to uncover and experience. You've seen us challenge ourselves to not only innovate on classic game modes, but introduce a new generation of instant classics. Modes like VIP Escort and Combined Arms Domination. You'll see that duo played today, and it's just the start, as we've got massive drops of free content planned post-launch, including new and limited time modes. No matter what type of multiplayer gamer you are, you'll find something for you. Tying it all together is that signature combat you love. Grounded and always realistic, you'll move fast and fluid, feel powerful when you need to be, and customized just the way you want to be. The new Creative Class and Scorestreaks systems give you even more of what you love, infusing more control and cinematic moments with less friction between you and the gameplay than ever before. And this is a true connected experience. Warzone and Cold War. The events in one will impact the events in the other, expanding Call of Duty in new ways you've never seen before. And Black Ops Cold War is not only a cross-platform game, but it's also a cross-generation cross-platform game. Now, that should be the end of our show, but this wouldn't be a Black Ops multiplayer reveal without some Black Ops-style mind games. We have talked a lot today about what Black Ops is, how it feels, what it does, but for over 10 years, Black Ops is also something else. A game that consistently presses the boundaries about what multiplayer means. Our team relentlessly looks for opportunities to offer new types of multiplayer experiences. In Black Ops Cold War, we're excited to be launching an entire new category of multiplayer gameplay called Fireteam. This new format of multiplayer brings together everything that we loved about making Cold War and everything you'll love about playing Cold War. Across every Fireteam mission and mode, you'll discover some of the most imaginative game loops we have ever designed. The Fireteam format allows us to emphasize teamwork and reward creativity. and it allows you to do things you've never done in Black Ops multiplayer before. You'll fight in squads of 4 called fire teams. You'll deploy into larger maps, play fast, pushing through multiplayer objectives and modes that demand quick thinking. The action won't just affect you, but the environment you battle in. Enter Fireteam Dirty Bomb, one of the most unique game loops we've ever imagined. You and your team must search for uranium. Then, deliver that uranium to Dirty Bomb's position around the map. Deposit uranium and detonate the bomb. Now, avoid radioactive fallout as you navigate a toxic battlefield. Every decision you make impacts your survival rate and your success rate. We can't wait to tell you even more about Fireteam Dirty Bomb and the other Fireteam modes and maps in the weeks ahead as we get closer to our public beta. I guess there's only one thing left to do. Let's play Black Ops Cold War.
Threat neutralized.
You're here because you're the best special forces NATO has to offer.
You're all that keeps the world from turning to cinders, comrades.
We work off the books.
Operate in the shadows.
To keep the wolves at bay.
Today, we reshape the world.
What the fuck are we doing in Miami?
Let them come.
Big Papa took the war around. Jack no force of overcrowd. Any repercussions in your mouth. Split clip all the time. Big Papa took the war around. Rule flows, and that's how it goes.
Go, go, go!
Time to punch that top guard.
Secure the sub.
I'll take care of this.
Ah, shit. Soviet convoy disabled.
I'll drive.
Big Papa kick the war around. And that's how it goes.
Keep pushing!
No! Over here!
War flows, and that's how it goes.
Pre-order a digital copy and get early access to the open beta and instant access to the Woods Operator Pack in Modern Warfare and Warzone.
Welcome to the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War worldwide multiplayer reveal. The devs from Treyarch just gave us our first look into the details around the next generation of global combat for Cold War multiplayer, so thank you, team.
We are pumped to start showcasing all the different deniable operations and signature combat experiences they've been talking about. This right here is where we step into the awesome chaos of multiplayer, and wow, does what they've got on tap this year look good.
We're going live with Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War multiplayer, bringing you action from dozens of top creators and CDL pros from across the planet, from their homes to our studio to you in a way and scale we've never done before. Each one of them is about to deep dive into the game, and we'll be jumping on board with them to get you all the action from their point of view.
Right here is the place where we're giving you the goods. Core 6v6 style Black Ops modes like TDM, Kill Confirmed, and Domination.
And we're about to wreak some havoc in brand new modes like Combined Arms, which just happens to include the vehicle-fueled warfare we gave you a little taste test of earlier. This unprecedented worldwide reveal also means that you're about to get your first good look at the highly competitive VIP Escort mode.
And as a bonus for everyone watching this stream, we'll also talk about how Treyarch is approaching free post-launch content for Black Ops Cold War, as well as how they've optimized multiplayer for PlayStation 5.
This sounds awesome! Are you okay? Are you ready?
Holy shit, yes, I am ready!
Let's do this!
What's up, guys? I'm Nameless, and I'm here to make sure that you guys don't miss any of the crazy moments that we have throughout the day. We have some of the top streamers from around the entire world itching to play Cold War, and we're going to be kicking it off here very shortly. These guys have been streaming. These are your favorite guys playing, different games that we've had over the years, and playing up some of them on the screen right now. We are going to have some of the guys that I've been loving to play with and watch over the years. Bobby Poff Gaming, Drifter, Cat Conti, Cat Gun, Legion. You know these guys from YouTube, from Twitch, from all over the world. One of my favorites being Nick Merckx, Noah J, Sean J Gaming, and also Marksman. I can't wait to watch these guys drop in on our Armada. Symphony, Teep, Tim the Tatman, hopefully he can stay on the map, and also Try Max. It's going to be an incredible day. We also have many more, as well as some of our CDL pros. They're going to be all participating today. And now let's take a look at what these guys are going to be starting off with. We have 12 versus 12 Combined Arms Domination on Armada. This is the first map ever to be fully on water. But let's kick things off, and I'm going to throw it to Maven and Merc.
Thank you so much, Nameless. Yes, for the commentary, myself and Big Merc. How you doing, buddy?
I'm just so excited to be here. Obviously, we love revealing these things, and while I cannot wait to jump into the gameplay, the trailers, they just look so darn good.
Yeah, it's like death taxes, and we know we've got a new Call of Duty every year, and I'm excited to get into this and look at all, the new modes, the new vehicles, all the stuff we're going to touch on, whether it's for casual player, competitive player. We're going to go through all the cool features this game has. We've obviously had some eyes on with it, seen some of the players playing it, looked at some of the internal stuff, and it's just really cool, like the passion and excitement. Well, you saw from all the devs, everybody's ready to get this game out there for people to play.
Yeah, just so many new things that we're going to be taking a look at, just so many new features. As Nameless was saying, this map entirely on water. There's vehicles you can take around the map. You can play on the boats. There's going to be 5 different zones. It's first to 400. And, well, there's just so many different ways to play the map.
All right, so kicking it off with Noah J, the Easter egg man himself. He has been popping off lately. It's awesome to see his success, and obviously a very talented Call of Duty player in his own right. We'll see if he can hit with a sniper. Just taking a look at our good buddy Mud Dog's in there, Jericho, Teep. You've got a full laundry list of just popular streamers going off as Noah J hitting shots.
And just right away, you look at this map, you look at this gameplay, and doesn't it just look like Treyarch? The color palette pops out. You have so many different attachments that we're going to be going with. You see the kill feed. You have the traditional Black Ops mini map. Man, I just love Treyarch.
No, yeah, I love the mini-map. So the first things we noticed when you took a look at the new title coming out this year. But Noah, as you'll see in pubs more often than not, he's set up in a power position, snipe in hand, just looking to drop numbers. But yeah, I mean, he's been around for so long, comfortable with every dev, every title, as he's experienced everything Call of Duty has to offer. But yeah, it's what Nameless was saying. Just this is the first map that's completely on water. You already see Scorestreaks coming in. I believe that was a attack chopper in, as he is just dominating the other team, but still a tight race in the score department.
Yeah, I mean, his first clip when he first tweeted out, I was watching as you guys were introing it. We're going through the devs, and he goes, sniping is
back. Noah's so excited. You see the zip line coming through from ship to ship. It just looks so smooth. Chaos in the air. The attack choppers going down, and his team with a slight little lead.
Well, let's see if he can keep it rolling. It's been one heck of a life for him. You know how much he loves to operate with that sniper in hand. He's got the shotgun for close range. A reminder, this is combined arms domination, 12v12. And we're going to be showing a wide range of stuff today, right? We're going to have some 6v6, 12v12, showing different maps, from your 3-lane maps to your more open kind of sandbox maps as well. There's something for every player in this title, and we'll progress through that over the course of the next 2 hours or so. But just exciting to see the new twists on gameplay that Treyarch have to provide. Obviously, we love working with them, and the gameplay they've come up with throughout their cycles has just been insane.
Yeah, and something to notice today when we're going through domination, something that's a little bit new compared to past Call of Duty titles. It's not just one flag. It's more of an area that you're really going to be capturing. It's going to create more of I think, a combat dynamic around those zones, right? So, you can play in different areas. You can capture it from different spots. But here as well, it sounds like we're hopping on board with Swag. We're going to be jumping from lobby to lobby. We got a lot of different creators as they get started.
Yeah, I was going to say, Priesta looks a little bit different right
Swag.
now. This is Swag. We've been watching him a lot on Warzone. We know what a monster he can be. But over to Jericho, one of my favorite streamers to watch. He gets in some of these big tournaments he'll play in on Warzone in various modes. And Jericho, maybe not the most talented player in the entire world. But you know what? He's handsome. He's one of the most entertaining streamers in the world, and I love him. I love Jericho to death. Guy's a beast.
He loves to have fun, and that's what's important. He's trying to show off the zip lines a little bit. You can hear him talking a little bit. I mean, they've had some experiences. Well, this is Sky's one of the CDL pros. He was an MVP candidate for us, but here you go. You see him taking a boat, trying to capture this A zone, and swimming. Well, when was the last time you saw someone with Black Ops 3, right? So, you have these different features from past titles in this game.
We'll see what he can do from the sneaky underwater positions, but just working the objective for now. As his team, I think, doesn't have a single cap as of now, but remember, we're going to be hopping through a variety of matchups, right? There's a lot of players playing this, a lot of different streamers. If you're wondering why the score looks a little bit different, we're just hopping through a ton of different POVs and showing you guys how stuff is breaking down throughout the course of the day. As we go right over to Marksman, and he's in a boat looking to get busy.
Yeah, you can see he's got a turret on him as well.
Yeah, right, Priesta.
Well, you can hear that minigun go off later. Priesta, that's a nice headshot. Marksman, known for his search and destroy gameplay. He has been playing Call of Duty for so long since, we've been involved. So great to see him involved today. Well, just patrolling the area right now with this boat. And well, Swag, he's getting aggressive. He's got the MP5, the classic MP5, and you can just hear Tim yelling.
Yes, Tim, I get it. I'm not a father, but I am also bald, and I know it makes life a little bit more difficult. But Tim, there is love out there for bald men like us, and you're an absolute beast. But are you surprised to see Swag with an MP5 in hand?
No,
looks to be very natural.
Yeah, getting aggressive, right? You watch him play Warzone, he gets busy. Tim, on the other hand, you see the movement coming in. A lot of these guys, they're used to Modern Warfare. It's going to take them some time to get used to the movement throughout the maps, and nice shots on it by Tim. He's rocking that assault rifle.
Clip it and ship it. Well, it's going to be interesting, too. You've seen, they talked a little bit about the score streak stuff and how it's going to work, right? That's going to carry on through death, and depending if you're getting a lot of kills within that one death, there's a multiplayer to work with. But also, one thing I kind of like is, we've talked about sort of score streak spam in the past when somebody's going off. The fact that there's going to be kind of a cooldown on it, so there won't be that same spam, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I'm excited to see how it works in the various pub modes, but we'll take a look at kind of the loadout screen as he's changing, getting into a different one. I think that's courage we're hearing as well, maybe a little coaching for the squad.
At least I do, so that's what I'm going to go looking for.
All right, so Drifter, you're hearing his strategy around this zone. He likes to get in the water, likes to get busy, just trying to look around him, man. It just looks so darn good in this area. All the different graphics, all the different colors.
Basically.
I was actually thinking about that, it's actually crazy.
Yeah, I'm not
it's actually crazy, how
so I'm actually gonna
wild, just water graphics have gone. Now that's a silly thing to talk about when you think about years and years and years ago, various games. It's just nutty how far it's come.
They're all above me. If I try to go out any other way, oh God.
Trying to figure out what he wants, but I just love the 74U. It's always been one of my favorite guns, back from COD 4, back from Black Ops 1. I am so excited that is back here in Cold War. Nice shots by Drifter with that headshot taking down Hutch. Hutch. As he just continues to go around this zone, and well, it is that's not Hutch.
Well, that's Karma.
That's
That is
Karma.
one of the greatest Call of Duty players of all time. Absolute monster.
And he's actually one of my favorites to watch at the beginning of the games because
come on, Seth.
he is always switching it up, trying different weapons. Like the guy just loves playing God.
No, he just loves the game. He really loves the game. I think a little bit of trash talk that was coming from his former teammate and Scump, Seth Abner. Abner, absolute monster.
Abner?
Yeah, I'm not sure who Seth Abner is, but yeah, Seth Abner, absolute beast.
Man.
Okay. Well, maybe to a different POV.
Wait. Oh, he was watching Scump. He wasn't even playing. We were watching Scump.
Wow,
that makes sense.
what?
That makes sense.
Okay. I was wondering why I was hearing kind of Seth's callouts more than anything. And this is Enable. What's going on with his hair, Joe?
I mean, listen, the guy as a boat just flew off. I don't know what was going on. Nice shots, takes down Courage. I don't know. You know, he didn't have the best year for the Seattle Surge, and listen, he's trying to earn some subs.
Yeah, he goes by Deputy Hadbad now.
I don't know what
in case you weren't aware.
really means, but I love it.
Yeah, and this is a guy whose company we've enjoyed a lot this year playing Call of Duty with, Symphony. Absolute monster, one of the most talented aimers I've ever had the privilege of playing with. The guy is nutty, and well, you can see how accurate he can be. There's Hutchie Poo. How you doing, sir?
Hutch back in the boat. Back in the boat. Is he just going to get it? Get on the turret as well. Tries to take down the player ziplining across. And I don't know, man. Watching the players zipline, it just looks so smooth. The pace they go at, it looks incredible.
No, it really, really does. Like, it's just going to be a fun mode to... I mean, what's the... As much as we can talk about different maps and competitive and 3 lanes or sandbox, wherever it is, like at its core, Call of Duty is just fun. And this just looks like it's going to be a blast. Because I'm at the most comfortable in the water, Joe. I'm a modern-day Aquaman.
Well, you,
No, I hate the ocean, I'll be honest with you. I'm just absolutely terrified of open water. No.
Tim, have a nice day.
Yeah, you don't seem like a big swimmer to me.
Nope. Terrified of sharks.
Yeah, what's up, man?
That's what they need to add. Just sharks, dude. You're in there.
Like a score streak? You call it Jaws? Call it Jaws? I like that.
I'm with that.
You're fucking high.
I don't think Nick is very pleased with how that gunfight just went for him.
No, he got smoked. He got headshotted. Well, yeah. I mean, sometimes you get headshotted in Call of Duty, that messes with you. But Nick, we know how into the game Nick is based on where his cam is. Nice shots right there on the Symphony. And if you can see his forehead, he's into it.
He's not. Yeah. Like he's not sweating enough yet.
No.
You mean like once it's only forehead?
Yes.
Like, yeah.
I guess it would only be hat.
Yeah, right. Well, over to Legion. God, if you haven't checked out his stream, one of the more entertaining people in the world.
I'm gonna come my room.
Fantastic singing voice as well.
Appreciate the 500-bit sailor. Do you guys want to come see my watch?
He's good. I don't know what he's doing.
Is that what you want to do?
You want to come in here and see my watch?
What's up, these old slap shop?
Yeah, I do.
I think he's just.
But yeah,
I don't know what that was.
I have
recorded.
no
Look,
idea.
I'm actually playing the alpha right now.
Yeah, no, this is live for
if
us
you guys
too.
have any
All of it.
questions or
Live
anything,
action going down now.
Feel free to ask, and I'll try to answer them the best I can.
He's gonna try
what
to
we're
answer
playing
some
right
questions
now
with his
is
chat.
a mode called Combined Arms. This is kind
Go
of
ahead,
like
take him through it.
Yeah, no, Joe and I'll just shut up. He's just
Ground
breaking it
War.
down for you guys. This is
That's
fantastic.
the best way to explain
I
it.
like that. As he takes his zip line.
It's not
He's
as
got
big
what,
as Ground
he's
War.
got, he's
Smaller
got a
teams.
shotgun.
It's 12v12.
Okay, yeah,
but
12v12,
there's 6
not as big as
flags
Ground
and
War.
5 flags on.
You know what blows my mind about this stuff? Because obviously, well, I'm not very good at it, but like, I can like answer questions with viewers and stuff while I'm playing, but doing like a full like commentary and like answering a lot of questions, like, I can't do it. Like I get people doing it like over their gameplay as like a VOD thing, but that's a skill to just sit there and just still play casually and fry while you're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have game audio up. He was there like, I'm going to present to you Call of Duty, but here's testament one of the best snipers in the world, especially in Call of Duty. This guy, I'm sure he's already got some ridiculous clips on his YouTube, on his social media.
You're sitting next to one of the greatest snipers alive too, Joe.
Honestly, it just depends. If you're about 7 to 8 hours in, your hands are warmed up, that's the hot spot, yeah.
Not that we recommend gaming that long, but I do it every day.
Yeah.
Over to Sean J Gaming. looking for the angles. Nice little cheeky position there as people are pushing out, able to line up multiple. You see the health bar in effect too. They're just cutting through the opposition, trying to work towards that E-cap. As we get back over to Drifter, well, getting in the boat didn't go super well.
Deputy had bad.
That's what I was talking about earlier. Deputy had bad. You got to watch out for Enable because you're about to get had bad.
And listen, for some of these content creators, there are some demons in these lobbies in the Call of Duty Elite Pros that. Listen, it's going to be tough for them to win.
Wait, what is Scump? Look at the kill feed.
He's on he's got a chopper gunner. If we can go to Scump's point of view, I don't know if we could switch, but he's doing some crazy stuff with streaks.
I'm pretty sure I just saw like 7 to 8 straight kills pop up for Scump.
It's an RC car. Classic.
Absolutely frying the competition. Absolutely frying them.
Yeah, no, he has been. He has been. He is just keeping it rocking. AK 7-4U in hand. Streaks have been soaring. They're up 100 points, and the king is here. Oh yeah, surprise!
Timmy. Oh, Timmy's got an artillery called in. That's going to connect with you. You hear Jack. Jack is just lighting it up in the kill feed with the chopper gunner. It seems like some of our players are starting to figure this out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys, like, it's been cool to see them like kind of come back to their roots. You know, they'll play other titles at times, but just coming back to their love for Call of Duty. Like Tim, for example, has just been loving the grind as of late. Courage JD, one of my best pals, and I hate to give him credit, but he's actually pretty nasty at the game as well.
Hutch has just been in the water.
He's exploring.
No, he is. Listen, that's what you're going to see.
Well, he's been playing like Flight Simulator as of late, so that probably feels more natural for him right now, just exploring. But I'll tell you what, if they put like I don't know what they're called, the wake runners or the jet skis in the game, like they put that in the CDL, do you think that Doug Sensor Martin actually could get on a pro team?
We'll have to look at the maps, but there's an opportunity. He's got the practice, he has the experience.
If there's a jet ski, there's a chance.
That certainly
You know he's got the determination.
He's retiring. He's back. He's retired. We love you, Doug Sensor Martin.
Oh my gosh.
Legion's just laughing. I don't know. What?
All right, I'm gonna show you guys. This isn't really a game.
I pride myself in my accents, but he might be a little bit better at it than I am.
This map, besides the sniper rifle right now, because we don't have enough time left to switch
I don't think so.
But I'm gonna show you guys like the RPD.
Okay, so it looks like a lot of people want to see the sniper.
The undisputed champ of weapons.
Well, yeah, it looks like it's just one of those maps that it's either like long-range fights with a sniper or close-range, up-close and personal with a shotgun or an MP5, but there's the defeat.
Dude, I kept hearing someone go, oh my gosh, that's his sub sound. That's what that was. I literally just kept hearing it going over and over and over again. I was like, what is going on in this stream, Legion?
That makes sense.
Make sure I'm doing everything I need to be doing.
Well, as thanks to subs, we wrap up the first map. Legion, enjoy that little 70 train. Hope you're having a great time. But
we got it out here.
We're going to go through a lot of different maps and modes. That was the first of the 12v12 on Armada.
And then you see some, the post-game, you have score, you have damage dealt, you have eliminations again, you had EKIA in Black Ops 4. It looks like that's making that return, and you can sort of see your past history throughout that. So it's awesome to see.
Yeah, very clean. But they'll get ready, locked and loaded to get into the next game as we continue on through the Cold War multiplayer reveal. We hope you like to look at the first map. But again, this is going to be a wide range. We're going to try and show everything, like more vehicle and sandbox maps like you just saw there. We'll get to smaller maps as well as we continue on through.
I want to check out Miami.
Yeah, Miami just looks... It was just easy on the eyes, right?
It looks pretty.
It was just pretty. It was absolutely beautiful. But we kind of talked through the gameplay. We saw a lot of different POVs. To break down some of the best moments, we're going to toss it over to Nameless.
Thanks, guys. That was an incredible game. That was just a hilarious, fun, and entertaining way to kick off the day. And what I really like about Combined Arms is that it fits everybody's playstyle. There's things for everybody to do. You saw Marksman loving the boat. You saw a lot of people sniping. And then you saw some of our CDL pros like Scump using that AK-74U. I mean, the sniper can be so deadly on this map because there are super long-range fights that you can take from boat to boat. And if you really want to get crazy, you can try to snipe somebody off the zip line. But those guys are moving really fast, so it could be very difficult. So as you can see right here, we have Noah J. He's using a sniper and a shotgun, and Sky's one of our CDL pros. He was in the boat early on, and what I find interesting about the boats is you can operate the turret as you're driving it, and then a lot of the time, somebody's just gonna throw a grenade or a C4 at you and it just blows up right away. Yeah, Marksman was just hanging out with this boat, dude, just driving around. He's the player that just enrages me when I'm playing. But right there, we just saw a boat just fly up into the sky out of nowhere. I think a naval just bumped into it, but we see some M4s. For those of you who love Warzone, the M4 is back, and it's fantastic in this game. You can see them beaming people long range. Moving over to Symphony. This guy has the absolute best shot in the game. Nick Merckx was running that 74U as well. He was just trying to get up close and personal inside of some of the domination points, and he was playing real well early on, trying to pick up those streaks. And I also noticed a lot of players were loving to use that TAC laser, so you can just hip fire people up close and string together multi-kills, as well as the sniper right here, just fantastic headshots. He had an opportunity for the triple, and he was trying to get the feed, and you can hear him, he raged right there at the very end. And Hutch is one of my favorites, rolling around in that speedboat right here, channeling his inner jet ski, trying to pick up some kills. And you know, the element of swimming is back, and it's also insane because when you're underwater, you can see people crystal clear from a distance. Legion as well with the sniper here, picking up some kill feeds, getting one of those final kill cams. Ultimately, his team ended up losing the game, but that was just an insane way to start it off. You saw Scump pick up that chopper gunner. He picked up like 8-9 kills, but for now, we got to watch some more gameplay. So take it away, Jess.
Thank you so much, Ant. Yeah, I am so excited to see these VIP escort missions. It's matches rather. It's 6v6. The key is one player on the board is the VIP, and depending on which team you're on, you're either trying to rescue the VIP or kill them. So I cannot wait. I believe we're going to be playing on Miami. So that's the map that Merc and Maven, I know you guys were just hyping up. So take it away, guys.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm excited to see the new mode, but yeah, really to see Miami. It was cool to hear kind of the the level designers talk about it, but aesthetically it was just very, very pleasing. I like neon lights. I like colors. It looked gorgeous, Joe, just like your eyes.
Listen, I would love to go on a date in Miami with you when this
we
is
did.
all
Wait,
done.
we did that last year.
Yeah,
we went there for some
it's a little bit
football
different
event.
right
We
now.
went and saw a film together. We had a nice dinner.
I want to do it again. But I don't know, dude, just the 80s style that they were talking about, as you said, the neon lights, you're going to have the water that are going to play, the way the levels designers talked about it. There's just a lot of different elements to it. It's sort of, you can play very aggressive through the middle of the street, but I don't know if we're going to Miami. I think we're actually going to Satellite. It looks to be the next map.
So we're going to get that a little bit later in the show.
Yeah, so we'll get to that later, but we're going to be playing 6v6, kill confirmed on Satellite. When you talk about Satellite, not a lot of buildings to go
No, it's all
through.
terrain. There are no buildings.
Yeah, no buildings. You heard the devs talk about it. It's a big fight around that sort of center satellite.
Yeah, and Kill Confirmed has obviously been a fan favorite. That's always been my go-to for, pubs? I don't even know why, like pubs and just leveling up weapons or leveling up my character. I feel like it's always been one of the faster ones to get experience, and it's just always been fun because it's like TDM, but adds that little objective thing. Because for those of us that aren't as talented like me, I like to go around and collect all the tags.
Well, it's like this momentum mode where, like, if you get going, you get the kills, you get the objectives, you can have some big games. But I am excited to see Satellite and how this plays. As you said, you can play sort of out in the dunes with snipers. You can play close quarters.
Well, how different is it from what we just saw? We were just in the
it's very different.
Open water with jet skis and boats. Now we're heading to the desert, so should be quite a bit different. But you're probably going to see people messing with all different types of weapons. And yeah, this is a lot more similar to last year when you talk about stuff like Gunsmith and the attachments that you can put on guns and how you can deck them out. And just the amount of variance that you can have. Like, it seems like fans really, really liked that last year. They really like, I guess the more you can customize, the better in a lot of people's eyes. That is going to be here and even bigger and better.
Well, it's just a sort of, you have the weapon. And I think in past Call of Duties, you had the weapon, and it was basically, it had one play style around it, right? And I think what last year and this year really do is you can use that weapon, and you can play around it in so many different ways. So it's a combination of, you have the different weapon styles, but you can also switch those weapons up.
It's like my LMG is suddenly an SMG? What did I do?
Yeah, what is this 60-round mag that I have that quick reload? This is awesome.
Yeah, the variance that you can have is nuts. And, well, Drifter, if you haven't watched him before, he is the guy to watch talk about weapons. Like, I remember, God, this is all the way back in like AW or something, but he was like telling pro players to use one weapon versus another because the RPM of the bullets was fast. He really breaks it down on a technical level. So if you ever want to check him out, very, very cool. But right now we're basically just waiting on one of these
on my phone so it doesn't crash on my
differing squads we have to get into game. It looks like they're getting ready to load in now.
That is cool.
So
the way look at that. The way you load into the map.
It almost looked like something from like a major motion.
It looks like a trailer
from a movie.
Yeah,
like a movie trailer. Or
it looks
right?
so cool. Oh, you have the entrance as well. You come in on the dune buggies, and then you go to war.
It's a Mad Max, right?
Yeah, dude, this is so dope.
Let's get right into the mix.
This is not my skill set exactly, so I hope that you're ready for some.
I'm ready,
rough.
Drifter.
Okay.
That's fine. We've all been there.
We
listen,
like
the
it
new
rough.
Call of Duty comes out, you got to try everything. You got to try everything.
I just want to get close enough.
Yeah, we'll see how he can get
we
rolling,
stop
but
that. We don't like that.
you see the tags everywhere you've got to collect if you're not familiar with the mode, but
I'm gonna sneak up behind this
mostly
guy.
we're going to kind of enjoy the variance in this map versus what we just saw. Nice little flankarooski through from Legion to pick up the kill.
Yeah, and this is what the devs are talking about. Is you have this sort of left side of the map, it looks like where Teep's at right now. We love Tyler Teep, Pol Chow. We love that guy. He's fighting around the satellite, around these close pass, and then you can go to the other side where you have everything open.
You see Teep just trying to find, kind of talking with his stream about guns that he likes. Some that have been more powerful for him, stuff he's like to roll with. The Type 63 in hand now, and you heard him say it hits hard. Like it looks like he's like 2 or 3 shotting the players he's pushing.
Yeah, this is a semi-auto gun.
They
So I'm gonna use this gun for probably a couple more rounds, and then I'm gonna switch it up. This one's pretty good on this map, though.
So he's got the semi-auto gun, and now we both expect Teep to have some big games today.
Give me that, give me that.
As he starts to snap on board, and there is a Sim with the 74U. Again, I think the 74U just right away going to be people's favorite.
This is just one of those like all-time favorite guns
It's
right
all
there.
like
Blast.
quarters and stuff. I like this one.
Yeah, I think this map will be just a blast, like fast-paced combat. As we mentioned, it's all terrain, so no buildings, just all finessing around these dunes and blown up planes you see towards mid-map.
And you can see sort of like the sliding, right? Because players are getting used to that. It looks like the sliding mechanic very quick as we're on board with Midnight. We love Midnight, one of the best snipers. She has been around for so long as she is locked into the stream, just trying to figure out what she wants to use, rocking the Pellington right now. But you gotta go through your sensitivities, you gotta get comfortable.
Yeah, I guess you can.
That's like the thing I do for like the first hour of a new Call of Duty. Is just going through all the settings, making sure everything's
Especially
set right.
nowadays, you're like, what does this do?
I can change dead zone and zoom sense. And
whoa.
There's no sniper glint. That's another thing.
Yeah, once you could. What was the first title where you could like go to like a fraction of a point? Like instead of like you're 5.5, 6.6, it's like 6.17.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you can definitely fine tune. That just goes back to kind of what we're talking about, like the level of customization. And Hutch is just mind blown currently by the level of talent in this lobby.
Yeah, they used to talk about Ricky, who is Los Angeles Guerrillas coach. So, yeah, but he used to be a pro player. Doesn't miss much.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm going to. I think, we're low tier street gang out here.
Were other streamers asking him not to use the RC car because he's just blowing them up?
Okay.
Yes.
Typical gamer
What
might
is
be
that
my
good?
dad.
That looks
Dr.
good.
Odin, I appreciate the 14 months. I'm going to show you guys too the
Yeah,
pistol.
he missed all of his
The
shots, and
secondary
typical
burst pistol
gamer
that you get
did
is
not.
absolute
His
crap.
Legion got fried, and
All right, say a prayer.
now he is his papa.
Throwing a
Yeah, you have all these content creators in pros, and they want to put up the base games today, right? Like, they want the most eyes on them. They're trying to say, hey, did you see what I just did today?
Yeah, so just a reminder in case you weren't aware, like you can watch the main broadcast here. We'll be hopping through a lot of the different POVs, and Joe and I'll be breaking down a lot of stuff with you from highlights from Nameless as well. But all these guys are individually pushing their POVs as well.
You can't pull your gun out while doing it. You like put your hands down. You know what I'm saying?
So that was Black Ops 4.
Well, thinking about the drop shot and the slide mechanics, I think they're, I don't want to say controversial is the right word, but the difference in them between devs and titles, like there's a lot of difference there. So you always want the first thing a pro player or top player like Priest is trying to figure out is movement mechanics, which maybe give you an edge. So a little bit different of a drop shot or slide mechanic in this particular title that he's talking through.
Yeah, no, a lot of these guys, they are sort of, it's muscle memory. What have you been doing the past 9 months, right? And Modern Warfare is doing that. So just trying to make some adjustments as we hop on board with Sim.
We actually enjoyed pizza and ice cream with Sim yesterday. It was wonderful.
It was great to meet Sim. He is exactly.
I really want to get this
pictured.
freaking
What was that ice cream?
chopper.
Like rolled
Hopefully they
up
don't spawn
ice cream
behind
or
me
something?
here.
It was
Yeah,
so
I had
good.
Reese
Spawn
Puffs
over
on
here.
it. It was a peanut butter
Chilling.
blast.
Yes, it was.
Gizmo just let me die. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Show us the
Oh,
YY. I mean, this is
excuses.
the YY. I'm YYing right now.
For the first time in Scum's life, he was the bait.
Yeah. Quite literally, the first time ever.
Not that crazy of an animation.
But I think it's cool to, obviously we'll be chatting through stuff, just high level, enjoying the
Yeah,
different
you can
players
see,
going
like,
through
the
it. But
slide
it's
cancel
cool
and
just,
stuff
I feel like we've gone
it's
through,
really, really
what,
similar
15
to,
different POVs?
Like MW.
And hearing them
Where you slide
focus
cancel
on
the head glitches.
different things, because a lot of them come from different backgrounds, right? Like
You
some of
can't
these are
drop
pro
shot,
players,
though,
some
so
are
it
casual
kinda
players,
takes
some
out
are
like that.
streamers, and just hearing the different things they're focusing on as we get into the game is pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, people who are trying to focus on trying different weapons. You got the pros who are trying to figure out the mechanics,
Yeah,
the
right.
weapons that they're going to focus on. We're on board with Espresso. See, he's got the Krig out right now. But yeah, you heard Scum sort of talk about the slide cancel, the slide movements, pretty similar, but the drop shot not as much.
This hurts. Well, a little bit of a streak rolling here as he continues to try and finesse with one of our favorite guns, the MP5. Absolute powerhouse at close range. Hits like a truck. Hip fire. Tried and true.
We're not doing too bad this game, eh?
Yeah, well, from what we've seen, you have been sort of running in circles. But he's
Figured they'd
posted
bait
up
that
and looking
tag,
for the
but-
action. Oh, there's the strategy.
Oh, yeah.
Bait the tag.
I like it. Yeah, you can just tell. Much smaller map.